Whew. What's up, bitches? Back at home. Look at all my shit. It's all in my car.
Hello, Foscam.
The fuck were you the whole time that I was out doing fucking sales? The camera was disconnected. It's okay, look, this shit fell on top. This shit used to be up there, and I'm pretty sure it just fell, and it knocked down the cables. So it is what it is. I'm making this video because I feel very compelled to make a video because I probably got here like 20 minutes ago, and this just feels wrong. It just feels wrong being here. It just feels weird, and it just feels wrong. It just feels wrong. There's no other way I can put it. I was carrying stuff in. I'd walk in here, and I'd feel weird, and I'd put shit down, and then I'd walk out the door to go grab more shit, and it just feels wrong. Like, it just feels wrong being here. This is my house. It's my house, and I've made it to be everything that I wanted it to be and more. My beautiful home. And also my own little death trap, because this is not good. This isn't good for me. And I love this place. I love it with all my heart, but I'm too comfortable here. I'm just too comfortable. I'm comfortable here in my house, and I hate where I live. I hate where I'm at in life. Being here just kind of reminds me of being alone and wanting connection really badly, but not even knowing how to go about facilitating that. Like, I mean, if you've watched my videos before, you know, like what the fuck do I do? How the fuck do I just go make friends? Am I just supposed to go to a bar or some shit? I don't know, but it just feels wrong moving back. It just feels wrong, like, bringing all my shit back in here. It feels like I don't want to say I moved on. It feels like I grew up. I grew out of this, you know? This moment in this time in my life, this specific apartment, I already know that when I'm older and I have a family, or life is really difficult or whatever, even when I'm 1,000,000 years old and I'm fucking smoking on a porch, you know, just reminiscing, this place will forever be a place in my head that I'll want to, I guess, return to, because it's all mine. It really is all mine. I made this exactly how I wanted it to be. This is Greg in some walls. But I'm not happy here. I'm not growing here. I'm wasting my life away watching TV, watching porn, sitting on my phone, playing video games, watching movies. Like, that's all I did. That's all I do. No, that's all I used to do, you know? And just just feels inappropriate coming back, because I guess I have grown. It's hard to tell. Like, Sierra told me when I was back knocking doors, and I was telling her, like, this shit's fucking difficult, and I don't even know, like, it's hard to pinpoint what I'm getting out of this, how I'm developing, how I'm growing. She said that it's hard to tell when you're still in it, but when you go back home, you'll, you know, be able to see a difference. And I was so nervous the entire ride up here. So nervous. And I know I was gonna have to face this. And I was gonna have to look at my house again and be like, damn. I'm also very, or I guess I still am, but very worried that I'll fall back into this and fall back into the comfort of doing what I want to do and not caring about anybody else or not putting an effort into anything new, I guess. Because I put effort into things, but just the same things: the gym, boxing, eating, like the shit that I do 24/7. And I was just horrified that if I came back here, I'd get stuck like a fly to one of those sticky traps. But I can't stay here. I can't stay here. And that's something that I realized, especially the last couple of weeks. Knocking out in Saint, I'm always forgetting where the fuck it was, South Carolina. Is that like no matter what happens, like I just can't stay. I cannot stay here. Doesn't matter where I go. I don't even know where I'm gonna go. But it can't be here. It can't be Utah. Like, I finally made a huge move and I bet on myself and I committed to something, and it took a lot of effort. And personally, I mean, of course I succeeded and I did well. I fucking made it to the end and I lasted, and I didn't quit, even though there were some times I never felt like coming back home, but like not knocking anymore. Fuck yeah. I mean, I quit plenty on the doors. Like, it's not like I was knocking 24/7. In the beginning I was, and then I got exhausted and I got tired, and some days I would, some days I wouldn't. Some hours I would, some hours I wouldn't. But thinking about takeaways from what I've experienced, I learned on the doors that it is okay to take breaks. It's okay to not do anything for a day. Like, it's okay, regardless of what people tell me, regardless of what rules are or whatever. For me, who I am, I need breaks. I fucking do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to get back to knocking, like, eventually. Even if you take the whole damn day off, like, the next day, you gotta knock. But, like, the task will still be there. It's not finished yet. It's not done yet. And so take all the breaks you want, man, just so long as you get the thing done. Get it done. Do it. Finish. This whole apartment has been a break. The whole thing. The last 3 years here have been nothing but a break from responsibilities, break from real life. I do what I gotta do. I go to work, I make my money, I pay my bills, and I do what I want to do, but I'm not playing life. I'm not being social. I'm not meeting new people. I'm not going through new experiences. I'm not growing. I'm not becoming better. This was an amazing break. Like I said, I know that I'm gonna miss it and I'm going to love it so much when it's gone, and I know that there will be times that I'll regret moving on from this, because I don't think that this is gonna happen again. But I had it, I had it, and who's to say that my next place, or even down the line in the future, isn't this, but on steroids, a million times better, than what I could have envisioned it to be. But it's literally fucking impossible to know unless I decide to move. It's impossible. I have so much love for this place, very mixed feelings about the way that I felt living here, but all very important, I think. Very crucial, I guess, as is everything. But it's time to move. That's it. Like that's what I took out of the summer. And I'm telling you, I was really expecting to not, to get back here and to be like, what would I learn? Or like I'd have interactions with people and I'd be like, oh, I'm like a little bit different, more talkative or whatever. But this is all very like in my face, impossible to misinterpret. It's like so obvious that this is no longer my answer, and it's time to go look for a new one, a better one, because they exist. They're there. This is what Gregory in his early 20s came up with as his best, as the best he could do, and I enjoyed it. And eventually, just like everything, things decay, and things aren't meant to last forever. They're just not. And the longer that you hold on to something that you should let go of, not the worse you feel, but the less magic it is, I guess. Because this place had plenty of energy when I first moved in, and it was new, and it was me trying something. I mean, I should be proud of myself for that too. Like, I fucking moved out on my own, Not a lot of people do that, and I fucking did it. I did it, and I've been supporting myself here and paying rent here and working, and like I did it, I did this part. I did the chapter. I fucking succeeded. I succeeded, and now it's gotten to a point where I've overstayed my welcome, and it began to hurt me and make me feel alone and disconnected, and I just couldn't let go because I'm too comfortable. It's what I know, it's what I know. And so as much as it hurts me, I come back to it. But now, having proven to myself that I can make big moves, like, it's one thing to move into a place on your own, and again, that's a big thing. That's not, this is my very first place that's ever been mine. Every other place I've lived in, with my ex, with my friend, with roommates, and finally alone. And I really enjoyed it, and now it's time to move on to what's next. And I think what's next is being around people again and being sociable and going through new experiences, trying to grow. Like, honestly, it just feels like it's time to start life. It feels like it's time to start living. And that means doing difficult things that you don't always want to do. It means doing hard things that require a lot of effort. That means taking risk and betting on myself and trusting in my own abilities to provide for me and to support me regardless of what happens in any situation. It's time for me to learn that I got my own back, for real. I mean, I made it out there. I did. I made it. And like I said, it wasn't no fucking Michael Jordan or anything like that, but I persevered and I pushed and in the end, I ended up with $35,000 in revenue sold, and that's not a bad number. That's not something to be ashamed of or be disappointed of. Like I did a good job and I stuck with it, and my objective was to grow, and I feel at least, so again, it's like I don't know how much I've grown. I've been here for 20 fucking minutes. But I've grown just in the sense that, like, I know what needs to be done. I know what needs to be done. My dreams are not just going to knock on my door one day and present themselves to me. I have to chase. I have to work, to push hard. I have to get through moments when I feel like it's pointless and I want to give up. I gotta learn to keep going and keep pushing, keep moving forward with everything I do. And so the first and the absolute biggest step is getting the hell out of here and finding a new chapter of my life. I enjoyed South Carolina. I'll cut the light off. I enjoyed South Carolina. I did not enjoy the work at all. In fact, I wouldn't go so far as to say that I hate it, but yeah, that shit sucked dick. It was terrible. But everything else, aside from the job, I very much enjoyed. I loved the people that I was around. I don't feel like there was a single person in that house that I disliked, that I had problems with, that, I mean, people are people, and everybody has tendencies and stuff. I mean, fuck, if y'all fucking knew me, oh look, my neighbor. If y'all knew me, you guys would know I'm like the worst. I'm fucking picky and meticulous, and I can be anal about things, but even then, it's like I loved everybody that was there. I liked being around them. I enjoyed coming home, and it's different too because we were all working together, so we're all doing the same job. It's a lot different than just having people renting out an apartment and he works in a restaurant and she works at the theater, and I work at a bookstore or whatever, and we never see each other, and we all got our own separate lives. But working with people, getting up in the morning and working out with people, hitting pads, going to team meetings together, it's like it was all still work. It was all still fucking hard, and a lot of it sucked, and you don't want to do it. Bro, this fly's about to catch. Whew. But it still felt worth it, like the camaraderie, just being around people. Like something I personally feel like I enjoyed a lot was like whenever I went to the kitchen, there was usually people there, and I'm the type of person that likes to be alone around people, which is kind of unfortunate, but having my headphones on and just doing my own little thing. But it's just nice having other people existing around, like it's not just me, it's not just my house, it's not just in my head. Like, if I want to, I can pause my music or my video and I can talk with Sergio about how his day went, or ask what happened with Martine's sale, or hear some story about some shit that happened to Michael, or I can let them know about how my day went. And it was just nice. It was nice being around people. It was nice being sociable. It was nice having a group of people that could go and do things like barbecue and go to the pool, or go watch movies, or go to a restaurant together, or go to Topgolf, or go bowling, or go to the lake, or like, it's just nice having friends. It was nice having friends. Like, it's nice having people around me. And not just that, but the fact that, like, those people are unique in the sense that I wouldn't say all of them, but I'd say most of them um, have big visions, and they have, like, they're doers. Everybody in that house was a doer. They got shit done. They would fucking, you know, they'd have plans, and not just small plans, but like plans for the rest of their life type of shit. And they're still there right now, like executing so that they can hit their marks, so that they can keep progressing with the visions that they have, with the aspirations that they've set. And like, to them, it's just the thing that they're gonna get it. They're just gonna get it. Like, to me, that's badass. It's fucking badass. And it was, I think, healthy for me to be around. Like, fuck, Kenzie is still out there knocking. She's trying to go to Egypt. You need fucking 300 sales, and she's at 50. And she hasn't quit yet. Like, she's still fucking out there grinding. Why? Because she wants to go to Egypt. That's what she's gonna do. It's set in her head that she's going to Egypt. Because that's what she wants to do. And so she's going to do it. Like, badass. Martine, bro, I fucking love Martine. You guys won't know the folks I'm talking about. And I have photos, but they're on my phone. Fuck. Ooh, maybe I'm trying to think where I could have potentially put some photos. Because I took some Polaroids that very last day. But the thing is that they didn't all come out great, and I didn't get to take a Polaroid with everybody the way I wanted to. I only got a few. And I had to settle with basic phone photos for the rest of everybody. But it'd be cool if I could show you guys, so you guys have a visual for who I'm talking about. But Martine from Chile, and Sergio from Spain came to do this job together because they were roommates back in Boise, and they're really close friends. And Martine, they're both still learning English. They speak 3 different languages. Again, fucking badass. But they're learning, they're good at English. Like, it's not like it's hard to understand them. They know what they're talking about. They can say things, but still, it's a new language, and expressing yourself the way you want to. It's like, that's hard enough on its own, but then you take literally one of the hardest jobs you could ever fucking do by knocking doors, and then you're trying to do it in a different language, and you're trying to make sales. Like, bro, what the couldn't be me, bro. Fuck no. Well, who knows? It could end up being me, now that I say that. But anyway, Martin has, plans, and he wants to get shit done. Sergio's in school, and he's still in school. Like, this is technically an internship. Counts as an internship for him. And Martine really sees opportunity doing this job, specifically knocking doors, because we end up getting residuals on accounts that last longer than 12 months, so long as we keep working here. And in Chile, apparently their currency is worth, would it be worth less? No, worth less, a lot less. So no, yeah, no, here the currency is worth less. Essentially, like $1 here is like $2 out there. So it doesn't matter what he pulls out here, it's gonna end up doubling when he gets back home. And that's a huge driver for him. But he has aspirations to eventually own real estate and fucking rent out houses and stuff. I'm like, just talking with him, I'm like, damn, bro, like, again, badass that, like, you're thinking about this and you're just doing it. You're going after it. You're not questioning it. It's like, I'm gonna do it. I had one conversation with him. Die, bitch. You fucked up. You came to the wrong house. We don't do bugs in this bitch. I was talking to him one night, and he was just explaining how, like, even though he's not making great sales, and he by far has, like, I would say the biggest setback because of the fact that his English is not the best. It's not bad. You can understand him perfectly fine, but again, expressing yourself the way you want to. I feel like Sergio's English is a little better, and I feel like Sergio's a little more just personably talented, kind of like me, to where it's just like we're just good with people. Martin is very determined and dedicated, and he told me that when it comes to things like this, he's used to not being the best, and he's used to having people pass him up, and he never sweats it because he fucking knows that he is going to stay consistent. He's gonna grind, he's gonna study, he's gonna work hard, harder than literally anybody else, until he gets to the same point where everybody else is, and by that time he's built, so much confidence in what he's doing, and whereas other people like me get burnt out, and he's like, it doesn't matter if people pass me, it doesn't matter if people are better, because what I know how to do is work hard. That's what I do, is work hard. That's how I was raised, that's how my parents work. Like, bro, chills, dude. Fucking badass. That was like one of the best conversations I had, because it fucking blew my mind. I was like, damn. Because Martin's usually, he's not like hella quiet. Nobody in the house is hella quiet, but compared to Sergio, Martin don't talk all that much. And since that conversation, every time I walk by him, I'm like, God damn. Nobody here knows that we're in the presence of greatness right now, for real. Akuma, out of the bathroom, Baba. Akuma. Thank you. And Derek is another huge one. I like Derek. It's my homeboy. He's a technician that lives in the basement. We're the only two that live in the basement. I have my room, and he has his own room, living room type thing. But every night he and I would roll up in the backyard, and we'd smoke, and we'd talk and shit, and just listening to him talk, like, Derek's just, oh shit, we did a podcast like yesterday, so probably gonna post that before I post this. But I just like hearing him talk, because it's like one of those crazy people that's like at the corner store just fucking talking about shit, just going off, like spouting nonsense. But it's like the second you really listen to them and you hear what they're saying, it's like, whoa, this person knows what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they're saying deep shit, real shit. And I feel like I'm a pretty decent listener, especially when I have weed. And so lots of times when we talk, I would just fucking let him go. I'm like, bro, just talk. And he, I think out of everybody, has big goals, big, wants to change lives type of shit. And so, like, I really enjoyed being around him, because there's so much of life that I haven't even bothered with, because everything just seems overwhelming. Everything seems exhausting. I know anything will work, but it requires a ridiculous amount of work in order to make anything happen. And he is not scared to put that work in, much like other people in the house. But he just knows. He's a businessman, put it to you that way. He's like financially very literate, which is like, whew, bro, if there was financial retardation, I'm like right here. It's like, you could look it up on Google, and I'll be sitting there. That's me. Like, for me, my whole life. The only lesson I've ever learned about money is that it's used to buy things. Literally, that's to me what money is. That's why I never have any of it. Because when I have money, it's for me to spend. I have $100 in my bank account. That's not like oh shit, we only got $100. It's like I have $100 to go eat, or to go fucking watch a movie, or fucking whatever. because it's for spending. And that's why I've been broke my entire motherfucking life. The whole thing, I've been broke. I don't think I've ever saved more than like 2K ever in my life. I don't think so. So I've made more than 2K before, but never like saved that. In talking with Derek, it's just like he's explaining shit like LLCs and mortgages and like I just can't. It's so much more than that, and like there's just so much more to it. But for me, I'm just like, it was finally somebody that was teaching me that I was like, oh, I think I understand what you're talking about, instead of like having it be convoluted and complicated and essentially reading through a textbook, you know. It's like he makes it very digestible and easy to understand how things work financially, how business works essentially. And he has huge visions to do shit. And, you know, and then there's me who like doesn't want to be alive, doesn't like have a reason to just keep moving, doesn't have, you know, there's things that I want, but obviously not bad enough to go get them because I'm not, you know. And so I think it's very healthy for me to be around people that know they can do things, that know that they're capable, and not just know it, but execute. Like they don't just talk, they fucking walk, you know, and they do what they say they're about to do. And being around that for the last 3 months has just shown me like, well, you know, like they're literally doing it. Like they're doing it. Like perfect example would be Q and Derek. Like Q started out as a sales rep and wasn't doing too hot, but over the course of the summer they started doing odd jobs for the customers that we would sign up, things like pulling bushes or mowing grass or chopping down trees, whatever, just to make, you know, a little chunk of change, you know, for a day's work. And they did it so often, and they're both so driven that they've like turned it into, they have aspirations to make a business, like a real business. And it's not just like a, bro, wouldn't it be cool? It's like, no, they're planning shit. Like they have jobs lined up, like jobs that pay thousands of dollars already. Like they're about it, you know. And they kind of started that at the beginning of the summer, and so I've been like with them, watching them progress and grow this idea into something real. And they've done it. Like they're not done by any means, you know, they're still growing, but like shit, they went from pulling out some dude's bushes with the truck for like $500. It's like $250 a piece for a day's work. And then they got equipment, and they got a lawnmower, and they got, you know, a straight edge, like a cutter, and they started like doing shit on Sundays and Saturdays, and cut down these fat ass trees, huge. To me, they were huge. They were like, I don't know, bro, what do you call it? Like 20 feet, 25 feet. That's what it looked like anyway. 3 of them. But like, they're doing real jobs, they're doing real things, you know? And watching them, specifically with that example of them trying to like start a general contracting business, like has just shown me, it's like, damn, like you really just gotta try with shit. Like I would never do anything like that. I would have never thought to do anything like that. Like, first off, I don't like working, so like when Derek got the first job to do the bushes, I knew that he wanted me to help him, but with the 60 hours of work we were putting in already at sales and knocking doors, like my Sundays were sacred. It's the only day I got, and those were the days he was working. And so to me, time is definitely more valuable than my money, and it always has been. But Q decided to hop on that with him, and that turned into like a whole thing. And you know, they want to like eventually have crews and, you know, start contracting. Like Derek's told me that they have a dude who They have like an electrician now. They found an electrician that they can use. I think they have like a drywall guy. They have like people that do shit like a pool guy, and like they found all these people, and they're essentially finding these jobs and connecting folks, and getting the job done, and making some money for for setting it up and for finding the job and whatever. It's like that's all shit that I'm like, yeah, it's like it sounds like it'd be in a movie, or like I don't know, from a TV show, or something not real, or something real but something like adults do, like 50-year-olds that own a company or some shit, and just watching them just go with everything. I'm like, damn, it really just takes like desire and effort to just start things, to make things happen, because they have plans to like hire fucking, like, have crews to do shit that they can just go and send to go do the jobs, and that way they can keep their hands clean and they can still make hella money. And it's like, it's just shit that I would have never even contemplated. I wouldn't have crossed my mind to do anything like that. But watching them do it, I'm like, bro, like, there's no way that that's the only thing that, that's just a great example of one thing that you could apply yourself to, that if you stick with it and you're dedicated and you give a lot of effort, that it will blossom into something real, And I mean, especially with Derek, like Derek, bro, anything he sees, it's like, it's a job to him. Literally anything, like, literally anything. Name something that somebody does, and he's like, yeah, I've read about that. I've looked into that. Like real estate, he used to sell insurance, general contracting, just money lending, like all kinds of fucking shit. He just knows about all this kind of stuff, And it's all because he just put in the effort to make it work, to care and to study and to find things out, to the point where he's educated enough to, really spit knowledge about whatever it may be. And seeing him that way, and seeing the drive that other people have, back in South Carolina, my coworkers, just makes me think, like, damn, like, I can do that, I can do that, like, I can do it, I might not be Superman like everybody else, and I might take breaks, I might not, I'm still me. I'm not gonna magically just, I don't know, rip off my skin and be a new person, a new Greg 2.0, whatever. But I can grow gradually, and I've proven to myself this summer that I'm capable of doing things that are hard. I moved across the goddamn country. I drove 30 hours straight. Both fucking times. I just did it again. Straight. 30 fucking hours. It was terrible. I actually hated it this time. This time it was ass. Just because I was so tired. I was just so ready to be done with everything. But, yeah, like, I did it. I showed myself, see, you did a thing. And it wasn't an easy thing. It wasn't fucking, let's sign up for a class or whatever. No, it was pack your shit up, drive 30 hours across the country to live with people you don't know, in a house that you don't know, doing a job that you don't know, and don't quit, and like do the best that you can, and just don't give up on it or yourself, And I'm telling you, the summer was hard. It's like I feel personally like I quit a lot. I feel like I quit a lot, during the summer, and there were lots of days where I just didn't put in effort. I just didn't care to. I didn't want to. I like, but I always had the next day, and the next day I was able to, like, regardless of how the previous day went, if I blew it up and sold 4, or if I didn't sell shit like a lot of days, It's like, yeah, and that was then. And today's a brand new one, and we're gonna get to try again. And if today I end up fucking doing nothing and sitting on my ass just like yesterday, it's okay. You will survive. You're not a failure. You're not a piece of shit. You're not worthless. You're still completely lovable. Like, it's okay. What matters is that you just keep trying. That's it. It doesn't matter if you keep trying immediately. It doesn't matter if you keep trying a week. It's like, so long as you just don't quit, bro. If you quit, you a loser, brother. Like, that's what I learned, you know? And so, being back here after experiencing something new and getting a lot out of it, even though it was hard, man, like, just can't stress how hard it was. It's fucking difficult. It's not easy. One of the hardest things you can do, but I fucking did it, you know? And I stuck through it, and I did it. And so, now that I've done this, that was that hard, like, bro, you can do it. Like, I've been horrified to move out of Utah my whole life because my family's here, my friends are here, and that's it. Nothing more. Literally nothing more. Like, I've been thinking about it for the last few months, and I do like Utah. I like Utah. I do not like the people here. I do not like the vibes here. I just can't connect. I feel like I'm being judged all the time, and it's probably because I'm judging everybody around me. But I just don't like it. I don't like being here, and so I should just do something else. Go do another thing. Go trust in myself enough to jump into something else. Go play another game of some sort, you know? Doesn't matter what the fuck the game is. Just go play. Go play life. Don't settle for this. Because this is awesome, and this is amazing, and it feels great. But this is also very limiting because of the fact that I have not gone through enough to know that this is what I guess I need, you know? I know what I want, and I gave myself what I wanted, and even that will end up evolving over time, and I'll end up changing and wanting other things, probably wanting things that matter more, and wanting things that have long-lasting impact on me, you know? And I won't be able to want those things until I know that they exist, you know, much like hearing from Derek about all this financial mumbo jumbo that I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that shit. I didn't know that was a job. I didn't know that, you know, it's just so much stuff. Every time he tells me about things, I'm like, that's how that works? I know that's how, you know, banks worked or loans worked or, you know, it's literally anything. I just keep saying those same things, but man, he talks about fucking everything. He knows a good amount about it too, and so I'm like, damn, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that was a job. I didn't know that was an option, you know? And I would have never known if I would have stayed here. You know, I had to get out of my comfort in order to be put in a place that is unfamiliar, so that way I can soak in the things around me and be able to adapt, but not just adapt. What's the right word? Not like correlate. It's like soak it in. Whatever I'm in and around, like allow it to nourish me and be able to grow based off of whatever situation I'm in, because I'm able to deduce what's important and learn and incorporate it, and then take the new Greg that I have developed and move him to the next game. And now I'm playing this game with the skills that I've built over the course of my entire life, and essentially being that new version of Gregory, I will be able to see a lot more than older versions of Gregory was able to see, which will allow me to grow exponentially and keep learning and keep moving. And I don't know if this is true, but maybe, maybe it gets easier to grow after you've done it so much, You know, it's hard to do anything like once, but you do it a million times, and sooner or later you're like, yep, it's time again, It's time to move. That's kind of how I feel now. Like, I've moved a lot of times now. Moved a lot of times. I moved a ton, actually. Like, me personally, my shit, from my parents' house to my apartment with Shalise, from the apartment with Shalise to Dixie State, from Dixie State with Eric to Jordy's home, from Jordy's home to those two kids who I rented a room out from, and then from there I moved here. So it's like, shit. From the house to the apartment, from the apartment to Dixie, from Dixie to Jordy's, from Jordy's to those white kids, from those white kids to this house. I moved 5 times, and then not just that, but fucking 6, because I just moved to South Carolina. Like, I moved all my shit, and that's probably the longest move, the one that took the most commitment, Like, Dixie was a long one too. Kind of forgot about Dixie because I did leave home, but I was still within the state, I was only a couple hours away. This time I'm other side of the country. But 6 times I've moved, and it sucks. No one likes moving. That shit's fucking hard, and it's just annoying and can be arduous and very, like, I don't know. You have to be very nitpicky, meticulous about things, and you don't want to forget anything or whatever. Like, moving isn't fun. It's not easy. No one likes to do it, but I've done it, and 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 I'm about to do it again. And this time I feel a lot more. It also could be my circumstance, just the fact that I'm, like, I just know that this isn't it. Like, it's very clear to me that I'm not gonna keep growing here. Definitely helps, but still, it's like, I'm literally thinking about moving back across the country, and I just right now, like 2 hours ago, got finished driving 30 hours from there, But I'm like, fuck it, bro. If that's what we got to do, if that is the moves that we need to make, then we're gonna fucking make them. We're gonna do it, and instead of worrying about it or picking it apart and don't get me wrong, like, I don't make any moves without the moves being solid. I'm very good at being careful and just making sure that options are 100% good with anything that I do before I make the choice. But moving back really just seems like a no-brainer. It really just does. It seems so obvious. I think that I've gotten to this point now where I don't even want to say I'm looking for challenges. I'm always so scared to call my shots or to set goals. I never set goals. I'm awful at setting goals because I'm really scared that I'll fail. I'm really, really scared I'll fail. And whenever I feel like I set a goal, it just gives me something to not accomplish. It gives me something to feel bad about myself for if I don't end up doing it, But, in the doors, I learned it's all failure, it's all rejection, it's all failure, and you're supposed to keep going. It's like, the failure hurts, and it does. For me especially, like, I hate failing, and that's why I don't do anything, because I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to not, to give my best and to fall short of whatever it could be. But failing is the process. It's the process. It's what it is. It's not, it's not an obstacle that's in the way that's keeping you from success. It is the next tile that you are supposed to step on so that you can step on the next failure and step on the next failure and step on the next failure, so that you can finally get to that high destination that you set for yourself. And so in the very same way that you could take breaks, and honestly, like, I feel like quitting and giving up are two different things. I don't know, because I feel like I quit a lot on the doors, you know, but I never gave up on the season. I never gave up on being out there, you know, like, so just so long as you don't give up, like, I think it's okay to quit sometimes, so long as you come back and pick it back up, you know, like, you're shooting hoops outside, and you tell yourself you won't go inside until you make one, and you just fucking, for the life of you, you cannot put the ball through the net. Like, I would tell that person that it's okay to just quit for right now. Put it down, go do something else. Come back tomorrow. You will be fine. The hoop is going to be here. The net is going to be here. If you care enough, your efforts will be here. Like, don't let it diminish you. Don't let it deter you. The fact that you're failing, or that it feels like you're quitting all the time. Because you're not. It is hard for me to live my life. It is hard for me to be alive and to go through this fucking chaos before I die. It's so hard for me. I feel like, you know, I can't speak for other people's experiences, but it seems like other people have a lot, they do a lot better dealing with life and dealing with hardship and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just, it's never been me. I feel like I just get defeated so easily by everything. But I'm learning that, like, that's what you gotta do. You just gotta do it. And, you know, it's fucking doors. That's all it is. It's like you could knock 5 doors and be very hopeful and, you know, pray to God and give your best pitch that you could possibly give to sell. But it really doesn't matter how well you do on those 5 doors if, for comparison, you're normally knocking 50, 75, 100 doors. Like, they just don't compare. They don't compare. Just so that you guys know, like, making sales is not easy. It is not easy at all. If you're working hard as fuck all day, like I would keep tallies of all the doors I would knock, and then I'd keep tallies of all the doors that would open. Not the people that would buy, but that would just open the door. And it gave me something to do on the doors. I stopped doing it because it got hot, and every time I'd write with the Sharpie would start dying and be all sweaty, so I stopped. But it gave me something to do, and I was able to literally see the effort that I had made for the day and the progress that I had made. And anytime that I would make a sale, I'd put a little star next to whichever tally mark door that was, you know. And I feel like that was a good visual representation, and also allowed me to be proud of the work that I did, because, you know, you'd see like whatever, it was usually between like 25 to like 80 probably, or 100 doors that I would knock in a day if I was like busting ass and working really hard. And of that, it was usually like 20% would open. So 100 doors, 20 people would open, and of those 20 people, I'd say maybe like 6 would listen to you, give your pitch, and not just, I'm not interested, close the door before you can say anything. And then of those people that you like got to pitch, you know, chances are out of 6 people, probably not gonna buy, bro. Like, but when you would get that one sale, the one, it's like my arm would be tatted the fuck up, and there's one star that's like way over here, I'm like, damn, you know, it's a lot of work, but it showed me that, you know, had I quit here, or had I quit here, or had I not even started, I would have never made it to that sale. You know, I would have never made it to that door where I did succeed. Because, like I was saying, it's like you probably knock about 50 to 100 doors in a day, and you know, it's not uncommon for somebody who's new like I was to have every single one of those doors say no. From the work, I include the meetings as part of the work day because it's fucking work. Work days were like 10-hour days every day, and that's Monday through Saturday. And of those 10 hours, I'd say we probably knocked 8 to 10 of them, honestly. And just imagine what it's like knocking random doors for 10 hours. 10 fucking hours. And you don't make one sale. Not one. Not one. You bust ass the entire day. Probably work harder than you would in any other job. Give it your all. And you get back in the car with $0, bro. Sorry, Tony. It's like defeating, like beyond defeating. And not just that, but like you gotta get up the next day and go try again, go do it again. Like, bro, you crazy. That's wild. I can't believe I did that shit. But life is the same way, and if my failure is gonna hold me back from knocking doors, then the likelihood of me getting to where I want to be, or succeeding the way I want to succeed, accomplishing the dreams that I have for myself, is so unlikely, because I'm not knocking enough. I'm not, you know, I'm not willing to fail enough to develop and create skills and become who I see in my head, you know, who I know I can be after I'm finished with all of the hard work, you know. Always reminds me of UFC fighters, because, you know, they're always so confident, and the reason why is because they fucking work so hard. Like it builds that confidence. That work builds that confidence. I mean, imagine that all you did for like 3 hours a day, twice a day, so like 6 hours, was just work out. And not just like workout, but like rigorous, brutal, like serious, like high caliber Olympic athlete type shit every single day, you know? It's like after doing that for an 8-week camp, bro, I don't even want to think about that, because that just sounds exhausting to me. But imagine the confidence that you'd have after not just surviving that, but thriving through that, growing through that, developing, becoming better, sharpening yourself, getting stronger, getting smarter. And you didn't quit. It's like, no wonder they're so confident, you know, because they believe in themselves. Like, I'm thinking specifically of Gaethje, because I've heard Gaethje talk about it a lot. I'm never worried when I'm in the ring, because I know that I did everything I could possibly do. There was not one stone that I left unturned. And so because I know that, because I know I worked that hard and I put in that much effort, like, I know that I got this. I know I got it. There's nothing for me to worry about. And even if I do fall short, it was not for lack of trying. Like, I gave it everything I had. And so if my everything falls short, like, how are you going to be disappointed, you know? Like, realistically, what else could you have done? There's nothing, you know? And I feel like I can get to that same point, not just with fighting, but with, I guess, life itself, you know? Just gotta stop being scared to try. Gotta stop being scared to get rejected. And I mean, that's like a big reason why I went out during the summer, was because I was like, let's, figure out how to get rejected a bajillion times. And then, next time I talk to a girl, hopefully it won't be as bad, But even after that summer and getting rejected a ton, and, it did end up like breaking me down towards the end, It's not like I stayed crazy strong and I must do like a Marine or fucking some shit. It's like, no, I got weathered. I got beat down, I started really high, and, I feel like I gradually declined, like I do with most things in my life. And I know that that's a big problem that I have. And that's something that I was actually hoping I'd be able to, fix or adjust while I was out there. But like I said, 3 months out there isn't just gonna magically fix me as a person. But I was able to grow a lot, and in that sense, even though I still quit a lot, and I didn't give my best a lot of the time, and it's like what I took away is that, like, it's okay, like, you gotta just keep trying. You just gotta try. And even though it hurts to fucking try, and it hurts, bro, like, depending on how you feel, well, me particularly, because my mood always, it dictates how I feel and how I think, whether I'm being positive mentally or negative mentally. Like, always, it's my mood with everything, my feelings with everything. And I feel like I was able to, how would I even put it? I guess you could call it another gear. I feel like whenever I reference adding a gear, it's like going harder, or more intense than what I was capable before. But this is a gear that I added that I feel like is very small but very crucial to the structural integrity of what I'm trying to create. Because so long as I have the ability to keep trying, and like I said, that does not mean to be perfect and to not be negative and to immediately fix it into, it's not what I mean. Like, I'm still defeated. I still, life is still life. Greg is still Greg. It's still the same shit. But I learned that, like, you can keep trying. It's not even that you can keep trying, that you should keep trying. That, even though it stings, even though it hurts, like, especially on days when I was not feeling good, knocking doors, and I just, like, I'm telling you, it's like a death sentence is what it feels like when everybody's, like, being awful to you and being, like, just treating you not like a human, because people see salesmen as not fucking humans whatsoever. And, like, getting shouted off a porch, or getting the cops called on you, or somebody cussing you out, and then you go from that to, like, looking at another door, and you're like, fuck, I really have to go knock that. Like, wow, like, I really have to go do that. That person's just gonna bitch at me, they're gonna scream, they're gonna hate that I'm there, they're gonna make me feel worse than I already feel about myself. And yet it's my responsibility, I don't even want to call it my job, it's my responsibility to go knock it. Like, that feeling sucks. I'm telling y'all, that, like, that by far was the thing that kept me from knocking doors. That's the thing that would have me sitting down for most of the day, or the rest of the day, is like when I just wasn't feeling good and things weren't going well on the doors and I didn't have any confidence. I just knew, like, every door I was gonna knock was just gonna be more chaos getting dumped on me that I don't feel like I can handle. But on the days that I was like, yep, that's what it's gonna be like, and I'm still gonna go knock it, and I would knock it, like, to me, that's growth. That's that act in it of itself, regardless of whether or not they open the door, of if they buy, if they're mean or if they're not, it's like I took action and I made the choice to go knock another door, you know, even though it's going terribly and all I'm doing is failing, and it sucks and it hurts, and I just know I'm going to continue to fail the rest of the day. Like, it doesn't, my confidence is down and nobody's bought yet, and I don't see it changing anytime soon because this neighborhood is pretty much all the same people or whatever. Like, just doing it, just doing it, you know? That is a big piece of the puzzle that Greg has been missing with his, I guess, would it be internal drive? I don't really want to call it motivation because motivation feels not superficial, but it doesn't feel, I don't want to say heavy enough, but it just doesn't feel substantial, I guess. Hardy enough. But yeah, just learning, you gotta just keep going, and regardless of how you feel, or how you feel towards yourself, or how you feel towards the thing that you're doing, the thing that sucks, that's making you hate it, like, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the mood, just doing, you know? And I feel like if I can continue to use, and not just use, but develop that skill, you know, grow it, like, because I'm still not the best at it, but the fact that I'm willing to do it, you know, just like knocking doors, the more I do it, the better I'll get, you know? It's like I was saying, to the point where, you know, it feels like it's easier, you know? I think that with that skill, along with a lot of the other ones that I've developed, it's like, it's time to, like I said, when I walked in here, I felt bad. I just feels bad. It feels like I'm not supposed to be here. It feels like I'm coming back to a different part of my life, you know, to a different Gregory, to a different energy, to a different mindset, which is crazy because all I talk about out there is mindset and motivation, and if you believe you can do it, then you can do it, and if you don't believe, you can't. And to me, it got very preachy, and I hate being preached at. I hate it. But you know, and for me especially, it's hard for me to change my mindset. It's not, for me, that's not an easy ass thing to do at all. Like, very, very stuck in my ways, very stuck in, I guess, my beliefs about myself. Not about beliefs themselves in general, but beliefs about myself, the things that I tell myself, you know. And I figured that coming back here, I was gonna learn, you know, that I'm still the same person. So I told you, I'm like, I was nervous to come back. The whole drive here, I was like, just hella anxious. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back to my house. I'm gonna have to walk through the door. Like, I'm gonna have to face all that, you know. But coming back just feels too small. Feels like I'm going backwards. It honestly feels like I found a new relationship and I just decided to move back in with my ex-girlfriend. Like, legit, that's what it feels like. It's like, what am I doing here? Why are you here, man? But it's like, take it easy on me, because I know that you know, and you know that I know that I don't want to be here, and I know you don't want to be here, so we're not going to be here no more. It's over with. We have decided we are going to move, and we're going to do it. Look, it's another thing that we just just like everybody else, making goals and saying they're gonna do shit and then doing it. That's us, bro. That's us. We're fucking doing it. We're moving. We're moving, and finally, like it's the goal. It's not even the goal. It's the thing I've been horrified to do my whole life is leave this garbage place. I've hated Utah my whole life. I've hated it my whole life since I was a child. And then we moved to California and I loved it. And then we moved back to Utah and I came back to this fucking place that doesn't accept me, doesn't want me. At least that's how I feel. And I'm sure that's also because I don't want them and I don't accept them, the people here. But I've never had enough balls to just, it's like everybody's always told me like, well then just move. What the fuck are you doing here? Just move. And I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, just move. I'll just grab my shit and find a fucking house in Alaska. Yeah, I'll just do that. It'll be super simple, real quick. I'll just move states, you know? Like I always thought it was a dumbass fucking thing when people would say that. Not dumb, but I'm like, I get what you're saying. Yes, I can move, but it's not as simple as, you know? And everybody would always be like, but actually it really is. It's that simple. It's as simple as like realizing that nothing holds you here. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing that is like damning you to stay here and just moving, just going someplace else, you know? And I've always felt like I was too insecure. I didn't feel I was responsible or I didn't trust myself. Like still to this point now, like I think about it and I'm like, why would I move? Like for what? What for? You know, do I have like some huge job opportunity or, you know, is this gonna do anything like real? You know, is this gonna, you know, it's not like I have plans to fucking start the next Nike or anything like that. You know, I don't have any plans, but like what I know is that I'm not happy here. That's what I know. That's what I know. And like literally just thinking back on 5 months ago, like, yeah, I'm telling you, I'd sit on my couch and like I'd have pains, like I don't know, I can't remember if it was like chest pains or like a stomach pain. Or it just felt like I'd feel pain from literally being alone. Like I would feel pain from the lack of interaction, and I would like be on Tinder or I would be on social media, Snapchat, Instagram, like seeing people do things together, friends going to a lake or to a beach or just getting food or hanging out. And it would make me feel so bad, like, because I really felt like that's not here. Like there's no place for me to do that here. Either that or I don't have the skills yet to be that sociable and put myself out there like that, you know, like scared to fail, you know. It's definitely it. Like people tell me, oh, just go to the bar by yourself. Just go to the bar by myself and then sit there, talk to nobody, feel weird, judge the people around me, feel judged by the people around me, and then go home feeling like a fucking failure. It's like why'd you put me through that? You know, going to a bar by yourself. Why did you do that to me, bro? Like I feel worse about myself now, you know? And so I would just keep myself in this house, tucked away on that couch, literally hurting, like, oh, I need a girlfriend. I need friends. I gotta do something. I gotta go somewhere. And not grocery shopping or getting fast food, you know? And now look at me. I did it, you know, I did that. And it was intentional, but it was also inadvertent because I didn't know that I was going to meet great people. I didn't know I was going to hang out with them. I didn't know that I'd have, you know, Derek and Q to smoke and to drink with and hang out with like friends, you know, like I didn't know any of that was going to happen, you know, but it happened and I essentially got what I was looking for sitting at home not looking at all, just wishing, hoping that one day my life would just change. And you know, I jumped and it changed and I feel like I got to experience what I was looking to experience, what I was longing for here. And that's why I feel like it's a very good move to go back to, and if not going back, moving, like moving and finding cool people, finding good people that you like as much as I love the people in South Carolina and they're unique to me, it's like I could probably do the same thing other places if I just tried, you know. I could find other folks to smoke with and to drink with, and people that would want to hang out with me. Like, just takes trying, just takes effort to go try and do that stuff, you know. And something I really liked and I appreciated was that it felt like everybody there cared about me. And it wasn't like, it's not like, oh, we're closest homies for life now, let's go get each other's names tatted, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't anything like that. It was just friends, but, I had a lot of them tell me that they wish I wasn't leaving, and, I had a lot of them tell me that, that they were gonna miss me and that they wish I could stay, and things like that mean a lot to me. It means a lot to me to hear things like that from people, to know that I matter enough to other people that they would want me around them, that they would care about how I'm doing. Like, that's something special that you don't just get in every room that you walk into, you know? They just made me feel cared about, and I don't know. Honestly, I was surprised a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, because I think I've told you guys in like previous podcasts and stuff, but I've never been able to, 7th grade, I threw a birthday party and nobody showed up. Like, no one cared. I was so ashamed, and I was just so ashamed at the fact that nobody cared about me. Like, I couldn't even tell my parents that I just lied to them and told them that all my friends went to some soccer game in California or something like that, because it was brutal. It was fucking brutal. Especially for a little kid. When your parents are waiting at the park with like 10 pizzas and a whole party planned, and literally no one remembered that it was your birthday. Nobody cared enough about the invitations that I made to come through. Nobody told me that they couldn't come. I remember a lot of the kids, that I invited, I saw them like all playing basketball after school, and I was just waiting, for people to show up, and so we could go to the park, because I handed out a lot of invitations, and maybe it's because the invitations weren't legit or whatever. I goofed around, and I typed out my own thing on paper, and it was just goofy. I was just trying to be funny about stuff, and it wasn't like, real invitations, postcards, colorful, you're invited to my party. It felt, I guess some people just took it more as a joke, like, oh, that's funny, that's cute, than taking it serious that, I was inviting them to come celebrate with me. But, like, even then, I'm telling you, not one person said anything. And the next day when I showed up, no one remembered. It was like, I just tried to wipe it from my brain, just tried to play like it didn't happen. But having experiences like that most of my life, to where I feel like I care very deeply about people, and I feel like I treat others in ways that they don't treat me, but I still treat them that way because I guess I care, about them, even if they don't care about me like that, and it's most people, that's most people in my life, besides from my close friends and family, but from experiences like that to where it would just reiterate and re-solidify in my head that, you're alone, no one cares about you, nobody likes you, no one likes you. It's hard to fucking argue with something like that, and then the last week, everybody knew I was leaving, and everybody just, let me know that they cared about me and that they wanted me around, and I guess I impacted them, I impacted their lives, which I don't I don't even know if humble is the right word. I don't think that I'm capable of, not even capable, but I don't think that you make the choice to impact people. I think that people make the choice to let you impact them. And so I never expect anybody to change based off of the things that I'm telling them or anything like that, because I know that when they're ready to change is when it will happen, and not a minute sooner. Lots of times you can say things that will click in people's heads, and it will, give them a catalyst for the opportunity to change, because lots of times people will put things in a certain way that just clicks so well, and it's so simple, and you just don't know why you never thought about it, but it makes so much sense, and you change things based off of that type of stuff that you learn. But I feel like I'm a deep person. I know that I'm a deep person, and so I know that I'm deep most of the time. In fact, I don't like being around superficial shit, which is most of the reason why I'm always doing my own little thing around everybody else, because if it's not real, I don't get the point. But I never expect to be applauded for bringing something up to somebody that helps them out, or giving somebody advice, or because like I said, it's really got nothing to do with you. It all depends on that person whether or not they want to make a change, and so I'm always applauding people back, because I'm that's you, that wasn't me. But just hearing them talk, it really sounded like they enjoy, they actually liked having me around them, like they actually liked having me around, for once, It just felt good, it felt different. And to my beautiful friends that are here, and you guys know who you are because there's only 5 of you. You guys know that I love you, and I haven't broken this news to any of you guys. I'm going to tell you all on fight night, probably while we're getting brunch, that I'm going to move, and I'm leaving. And I feel like our relationships are so solid that it matters not how far apart we are, or where we go, or what happens in our lives. I feel like Jordy, Bree, Eli, Sierra, Eric, Sean, you guys all love me enough that you, like, I don't have to worry, you know, that me not being around you is somehow gonna diminish the relationship that we have, which was, it's always been my biggest worry. Like I said, I've never moved out of this place because, one, my family, the biggest thing, obviously my mom. That's mama's boy. It's hard to fucking just leave your mom like that. But my friends, and just realized, like, not just over the last couple months, but over the last, you know, over the last year or so, that, like, bro, you don't have to worry about them. They love you. They're family. They love you. It doesn't matter what you do or where you go to make yourself happy. They're not going to judge you. They're not going to hate you. They will be happy for me, and they will be sad that I'll be gone, you know, which is exactly how I would be for them in the same scenario. And so it's time to go make new friends and go. It's not like you're throwing your old friends away, bro. Like you said, it's like a snowball, you know, and you go to one place and you accrue a certain amount of people that are such high quality that they become family. And whenever you decide to pick up the snowball and move it someplace else to start rolling, they will always be there. It's not like you're exchanging one ball for another one. You're adding to it. And so, you know, there's no shame in that, and there's nothing bad about that. And I think it's time for me to go do something else. Like, just the biggest problem out here in particular, especially with friends, like, you guys know, if you're watching, which I doubt you are because it's an hour and a half in, and I know that nobody watches this shit past like 4 minutes. And not just y'all, like anybody. I get statistics on my videos, and I don't think I've ever seen somebody watch some shit all the way through, unless maybe Sean, when he was Sean, you a real one. And obviously there's some, you know, Dad and Eric, and, you know, I know you guys tell me that you listen, and I'm sure you guys listen to full episodes every once in a while, but for the majority of the time, it's like past 5 minutes. I know I'm speaking to the ether. There's nobody listening, which is good. It's allowing me to vomit into the void, and it allows me to express myself and to think things through and to elaborate things. And then when I'm done, I feel not relieved, not even relieved. Just feels like I put down the 45-pound plates that I've been carrying around, you know. Just put them down. It's easier to breathe, to let go of your tension, to relax. But I love being around you guys, and you guys know that, but we don't hang out. We just don't. With all of us and the way that we all work, and we all have our own lives, and Jordy got your entire family. Eli has Bree has Eli, they have Reggie. Sierra's got her sister, she's got her mother. Eric is on the other side of the fucking country. Well, not even the other side, but states away. And, you know, he's going to school, and Sean is obviously very busy, fucking being ultra coach all the time. Like, everybody has their own lives, and nobody has the time to just kick it the way that I was kicking it with people, you know, for the last 3 months. You know, it's nice to just be able to walk into my backyard and just see people smoking. And I'm like, wow, you know, we didn't have to plan this. We didn't have to set this up. We didn't say, you know, 8 o'clock tonight, be here. Or, you know, Saturday in 3 weeks, let's go this or let's go that. because we all got to do that. There's no other way to make it work, and so we usually end up hanging out one time a month for fight nights, and that's on God, like the reason I've been staying out here for real. It's like to see my friends, you know, but it's not even like a short exchange. I just feel like I could be squeezing more juice from these years of my life. And as much as I like doing things like fight night once a month, you know, I feel like I need closer friends in the sense that, like, I'm physically closer to them and I'm able to do things with them, and you know, we can make plans on the spot for tomorrow, or like Q and Derek were always grilling. They were always at the pool, and for what was it the last day? Sunday I left Tuesday. I packed Monday. Sunday, me and Q and Derek and Sergio and Martine decided to go to a lake. We were gonna go cliff jumping because they went to a spot earlier in the summer with like everybody, but I decided not to go because they brought the plans up super short notice, like the morning before, and so I didn't go. But you know, they had tons of fun cliff jumping and stuff, and they made it sound, you know, like it was worth it, and so I was like, let's go do that. And they were down, and long story short, we didn't go cliff jumping because we couldn't find the spot, but we did find a nice little, real small little, you know, like, I don't even want to call it like a landmass. Like, there's a parking lot, and there's trees all around the parking lot, and then if you come down here, it's like a little bit of, you know, land, dirt, whatever, right next to the lake, and you just kicked it there, and Q and Derek grilled. They made burgers, bro. Their food, it's like, bro, they do quality. That's whenever people tell me, oh, I cook, or oh, I this, or oh, I that, I'm always like, okay, nice, but I never expect anything real from people ever. Like, those two do not cook some meat, at least better than I do anyway. But yeah, they fucking fired up wings and burgers and hot dogs. I had 7 wings. I slammed 2 burgers, and I had a hot dog. We had a hell of beer. We brought blunts. I think we brought joints. We brought music. Like, it was just fun. It was just fucking, it's like, that's the type of stuff I need to be doing. That is where I feel like I'm missing out on life, is things like that I should be doing now, that I don't have a family, I don't have responsibilities but myself, you know? I should be taking advantage of this time and doing things that matter to me, that I care about, that will stick with me, you know? And so I think going back just to be around that. And you know, the summer's almost over. The salesmen are gonna now move to Virginia because there's only like 4 or 5 of them left, because we've just been dropping people off over the course of the summer until it was just our small little group of 5, and then I left, and Sergio and Martine are gonna leave in 3 weeks. Then it'll be Kenzie and Michael and Donovan and Jake in Virginia with James's team. They'll combine them because they're so small. And those guys are the grinders anyway. Those are the ones that fucking were really about knocking doors and making sales and getting shit done. So I'm sure that they're going to be a lot more focused and productive, if I'm being honest, without me or Martine or Sergio there. If I'm being dead honest, I feel like they'll be able to focus in and, you know, grind the way that I feel like all of them have been wanting to do, but they're trying to get us all on the same page. And I'm just not a grinder. I'm personally not a grinder like that, or at least I haven't developed myself to that point. It's like this, I don't grind. Grinding is not something I do. I can work hard, but grinding, not my thing. And so this was like a great crash course and, you know, tryout, but the rest of them are like very dedicated to what they're doing. So it'll be good for them to have a small, very, very want to say focused. What would be the right word? Thinking like blinders, you know? Very like, I guess focused. If the word comes to me, I'll say it, but they'll be good. They'll be good. And that'll leave Q and Derek at the house, and I think Zach's gonna be at the house, and he'll leave me at the house if I come back, you know? So it won't be the same group, it won't be the same people, it's gonna be a lot smaller, but again, it's like, I'll be with Derek and Q at the very least, and you know, all three of us get together, all three of us like to do the same shit, we like to, you know, smoke and drink and talk and barbecue, swim, we like to go do shit, you know? We went swimming too on Sunday? Monday. We went swimming. Nice ass. Diving board, deep as fuck. It's an HOA pool. I was like dying to go swimming this whole summer. And so I'm glad that we got to do it. But like that was fun too. We were all throwing shit off of the diving board, and it's just fun. It's just life. It's life that I deserve to be living, that I deserve to have, and I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to get what I want, you know, out of this life. I deserve it. And so that's what I'm going to give to you, because even though it's difficult to get there and it might seem like a lot of work and it'd be easy to talk yourself out of doing something so dramatic, I know that it'll benefit you and it'll benefit me, and it will allow us space to grow, but also a new environment to grow in. Because I've grown in this, and it led me to where I was, you know, very comfortable and very, very sad. And I can grow just the same way over there and take different characteristics, different outcomes, you know, from it. And whenever that is over, that chapter, and it's time for me to grow from there, I'll take that and I'll move it on to the next thing, and eventually I'll just keep stacking and stacking and stacking until I'm pretty much like a fucking, I don't know, like I'm a army general with like a bajillion stars on my shit for doing fucking everything, all over my hat and all over my face, and just from accomplishing things. And I feel like that would make me happy. I feel like at the end, when it's all said and done and I finally get to rest, I get to put this body down, that I won't feel like I wasted your life. I didn't waste your time. I did not keep you from having a life because of the fears that I have. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. I'm excited for us. I'm excited for the potential in our future. And I'm excited for the fact that we are growing, because I really didn't know what to expect when I came back. I had no clue if I was just going to be the same Greg, if I was going to be more bitter, if I was going to hate life even more, or if I was going to become master salesman and all about sales or whatever. I didn't know what was going to happen after I jumped and I made that decision. But I mean, just from being home for the last hour, I mean, on God, this is like the first thing I did. I brought all my shit in. I talked with Mom. I told her a little bit about this, how like it feels weird and wrong being back here for all those same reasons. And now I'm making a video and just like finally being able to not unwind, but like debrief from everything that I did. I can already see difference in myself, and I really didn't expect it to happen like that. I really thought I was gonna like, oh, develop a skill here, but in the end, he loves to play video games, he loves to watch porn, he loves to eat food, you know, that's what Greg is, that's what Greg does, you know. I really thought that from the majority, and I mean, that is still me. I still love all that shit. I still want to do all that shit. I'm still that person, you know. but I did not think that I would be back here with this much clarity. That's for damn sure. Thought things were still going to be pretty mucky and, still very much a choice the way that my entire existence has been. And choices are not easily made with consistency, with discipline, especially for me. And so I just figured, I'd go through it and I'd learn some stuff and that'd be nice. And then, I don't know, maybe something magically happens when I come back. And I remember saying that too, like, I don't know, hopefully I have some direction, like when I'm done, hopefully there's some sort of direction. I was, thinking maybe school or, that's right, becoming a real estate agent, like, just things, that I don't know nothing about. I know nothing about anything, but I was like, maybe I'll want to do some shit when I get back, just because I went through it. But I wasn't sure, and look at me now. I've been here for an hour, and I know I need to move from my house, like that. And it's not even it's not a question. It's not like yeah, but I really like my place, and it's nice, and I probably won't find a place like this again, and it's nice and secluded, and I can smoke, and I shouldn't give this up. It's like we can't be here no more, bro. Like this is going to eat us alive if we decide to stay here. We felt it when we walked into the fucking house. It was death in here already. And it doesn't even have to be that doom and gloom. Like, it's just, there's a mix of energies because I've felt so lonely here. I've been through depression here, just like I've been through depression in every other house I've fucking lived in. So it's like this place is heavy, but at the same time it is comfort, and it is my expression. This is Gregory, this place is Gregory. And the only difference is that the Gregory that came back is not this Gregory. This is somebody else's house, somebody who, there's no shame in saying that. It's like, things move, people change. You're not supposed to exist the same way forever. That would be a shame if we came back here and this was still us. This was still our house, Not that there'd be anything wrong with that, but for what we want, what we're trying to get out of this experience of living, it's unacceptable. We can't do that. And so we move. Like, I'm going to miss the old me. I will always miss the old me. Always love the old me. But I am taking a leap of faith that the me that I have yet to encounter, to experience, or to build is exponentially greater in every possible way than the me that created all of this. Because don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with all of this. But this has only come about because I know it. And it's time to go learn new shit, because I'm sure that there's so much more to me as a character, as a person, that I don't even fucking know shit about. Like for real, like, just imagine that whoever you are watching this, 30 years from now, you find out that you're really, really good at baking cupcakes. Like extremely good, like expert, pro, like master chef type shit, It's like, who the fuck would have thought, Like, I could see that in my future. I know that there's crazy shit. It's like, what? Babysitter? What? A mechanic? The fuck? I fly airplanes? What the shit? Since fucking when? When do I do that, bro? It's like, you haven't done it yet. You gotta do it. And then you do it, and it unlocks a whole other part of you that allows you to express yourself in an even greater way and to be even more than what you are. And again, you're not losing anything that you have created. What you're doing is evolving it. We're not abandoning anything. We're not abandoning friends. We're not abandoning family. We're not abandoning the house. And I am not abandoning you whatsoever. Like we went through this on the mushroom trip. I am by your side. And I'm sorry that I don't do a perfect job 24/7, but I want you to know that I do care about you. Even though I personally feel like shit about myself, I want you to know that you are valuable and that you do deserve love. That no matter what you do, I should still love you, and I'm trying to still love you because it's what you deserve as a human being. It's what you need. It's what you're starving for. And so I want to be able to provide that for you so that way you have that source internally and you'll be able to move on with your life regardless of the circumstances, the people, the environment that you're in. You'll know that I have you, and that'll be enough for us to not just get through anything, but for us to thrive through life, regardless of what it throws. I'm excited, I'm anxious, and I'm nervous as fuck. And I think that's all, I guess, good. It's literally, it's what happens when you do new things. It's really all it is, you know? Just like knocking doors, if we can get used to this feeling of doing new and trying new and making moves and trusting ourselves, soon we will grow to really like this feeling of new, of not knowing, of trusting that things will go well, that things can go well, that it's possible for things to be even better than I could ever imagine. God, I love myself. I love you. I love you. I love you. And you're a great person, and you're growing a lot, and I'm very proud of you. And I am honestly very impressed with with you right now, because I was not expecting this from you at all. Not at all, but not this passionate or would I even call it like strong-willed, you know? Just so decisive and so sure of yourself. Because I don't ever see that in you. I never feel it in myself. And so I'm impressed with you for doing that, for first off jumping and betting enough on yourself to make that move. Fucking huge dub. Really applying yourself, making great effort, especially in the beginning, to stick with it and to develop and to learn and to grow and to finish. Not just finish, but you didn't quit. You made it through the entire thing. And then when you came back home, it's crystal clear. Everything that I see is like, this has to go. I need to move. I need to change my life. We gotta grow. Like, I was not expecting it. Was not expecting any of this. So, it's exciting. And again, very nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking because it's another jump. But the more I jump, the better I'll get at it. The more I'll be able to hone that skill and to calibrate that skill. It's a lot like pitching, you know? The more and more you pitch, the tighter it gets, the better it gets, the less fat that you have, the easier it is to digest, the simpler, um, and and clean it'll be, you know. And so I just gotta keep doing, and before this ends, because I know this one's long. Again, I know nobody's watching. It's probably you watching, bro. It's probably you when, I don't know, 50? Nah. I think I'm gonna watch this one on 50. Probably not. I feel like I'm probably gonna watch this shit while I'm on my fucking deathbed or some shit like that. Because by that point, this is gonna be hella videos. Bro. Hella videos. So, but, I was gonna say that, like, you know, a part of the reason of going out there was like I want to develop skills so I can talk with girls and stuff. And like I said, it's like it's still difficult every time that you knock a door. Like, you get rejected 100 times, it doesn't mean that the 101st one is gonna be any easier, or at least not for me emotionally. I mean, it really depends on my mood, obviously, because some days I don't give a fuck. But then most of the time, it's like, especially when it's hard and it's difficult for me to keep moving because of the fact that I'm failing so much, and because I'm not doing well, because I'm starting to feel bad about myself, or because I feel like I'm not meeting my own personal standards or hitting the goals that I feel like I should be hitting. Like, it all serves to lower my own self-image or my confidence in myself. That's all that does, you know. But I was still able to go out there and try, and I was willing to fail and get rejected, and even though it still stings, you know, at least I have the experience. It's like, it doesn't make it any easier like I thought it would be, I guess. And I still don't know, because I haven't done it a million times. I'm sure maybe if I do it even more, then it'll get easy. Who knows, you know? But even if it doesn't get easier, I know that I can do it. I know I can get through it. I know that even if it doesn't get easier and it's hard as fuck and it hurts every time that I try something new and I fail, or every time I try something new and I get rejected, it's the fact that I did it that will keep amounting to a win, finally, you know? And I'm saying all that because, you know, I said I wanted to talk with girls, and I did not talk to one female while I was out there. Not one. And I blamed it a lot on the fact that we didn't have any time at all to do anything, which, being dead honest, is very true. Like, for me, like, I personally don't see a point in talking with a girl on Tinder or whatever if we're not going to hang out. Like, you might as well just be a dude that's texting me through some hot 20-year-old's like profile photo. It's the same shit. And so I was like, well, why would I bother trying to get at girls while I'm working 10-hour shifts a day, and then when I'm not working, I'm either doing the little bit of me that I can, like smoking or fucking talking with people or making food or whatever, and then the rest is all concentrated on being prepped for the 10 hours, getting ready for correlation, taking a shower, doing a morning routine. They want you to study when you get back. Like, oh, it's just so much shit. And so I didn't even bother with girls, but like, the biggest reason is I'm still scared. I'm scared, okay? I'm fucking scared of getting rejected. I'm scared that I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna sound like a goddamn idiot, or it just won't go well, you know? I'm thinking back to that one chick from the gym, Butterwucket. She had a weird ass name. Tony, you remember? I can't remember her name. It's like Anastasia. No, that it wasn't. That's not weird. Anticia. It was something weird. It was something weird. But anyway, that interaction was so terrible. It was so terrible. I was so awkward. I had no confidence whatsoever. Like, I just finally mustered the balls to go do something, and after I did it, and this is like a lot of things in my life, I'll like finally go do it. And it's like, just do it, just try it, just do it. And then I do it, and then I feel like terrible afterwards, and I just feel embarrassed, and I'm always thinking about it. I'm like, oh god, it just makes me fucking shrivel up, like. But I just start like changing that and start taking pride in the fact that I'm trying. I mean, that's the whole point of the boards and shit, is just to show myself like, you're trying, you're doing. So just keep doing, and eventually one of those tally marks is gonna have a star on it. You just have to get to that door. And so, especially after hearing myself talk on this podcast, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go talk with girls and just get shut down brutally. It's gonna it'll happen. It's a part of the process. It is the process. It's the process. It's not like a bad byproduct of the process. No, it is that which we are trying to achieve, is the failure. And so I gotta go fail, and I gotta go get rejected by girls, and I gotta figure out how to still love myself and be there for myself and be confident in myself, even when things go bad and things don't work out well, or a girl doesn't like me, or I make an ass out of myself, or something, anything, literally anything. So I feel like, especially with females, like, they affect the way that I feel, and they affect the way that I think about myself so much. And I feel like if I can essentially grow some calluses and knock enough doors to the point where getting rejected by a girl is like, yep, it's a Tuesday, that's what it is. I tried, I took a shot, and it didn't work. Just like knocking a door, literally. Then I'll be able to get what I want eventually, which is a girlfriend and a fucking hot wife that's into crazy shit and fucking likes to make me pancakes and shit. I don't know what I want, but again, I probably won't be able to narrow it down until I go and I experience what's out there. Ain't that crazy? What I want is Shalice. Isn't that wild? That's what I want. Why do I want that? Because that's what I know. That's what love is to me. That's what it was to have another person, And so that's always what I revert to. But it's like, there's just like the house back in South Carolina is to this room, my future wife will be to Shalice. In that, like, yeah, Shalice was great and she was awesome. She was very comforting and I loved her, and like, I still do. But there's a bigger house somewhere, and it's a house that you wouldn't even imagine that you would care about more and cherish more and want to treat better, just because you haven't experienced it yet, And so I gotta go do that. I just gotta go, and I gotta try. That one's gonna sting, bro. But I gotta do it. I gotta rip the Band-Aid off. I gotta talk to fucking girls, bro. I have the ability to develop game. It's just the fact that I'm not even willing to play. Like, for real. Just start playing. You're on the right track. You're on the right motherfucking track. And I am very proud of you. And, you're okay, but Sergio died. It was really sad. Oh, shit. That's crazy. Jake told me he had a dream last night that I was driving home and I got into a car crash. He said it was really real. I was like, damn. He just texted me back, said that I was fine, but Sergio died in the dream. I'm like, yo. Yes. Long story short, very fucking long story short, I am proud of you. And thank you for doing that for me. And thank you for wanting to continue to do these things for me, to show me what is possible in this life if I'm willing to try. Because it is not something I want to do. So I'm glad that I have you here to put things into action, to take the risk of failure and the risk of harming your own confidence or self-image, by trying something like this. And it's only because of the fact that you believe in yourself so much that you're able to put everything on the line and trust that you'll be able to make it through, which is what you did. And I feel like it's acting as a perfect example for me with everything. I'm done. I accomplished it. Like, literally, I'm back in my house. I fucking did it. I did it. Like, I did the damn thing. I did it. 3 months, I did it. Like, nobody can take this away. Nobody can say, yeah, well, you kind of did it, but nah, like, I did it. Like, mission complete. It's fucking complete. I don't know if I've told anybody. Well, I've told some people, but I don't know who's watching this. Could be a perfect stranger. My God, what if it's just a random person that's still here? Like, bro, who the fuck is this kid? He's got mental issues. You got that goddamn right. Makes me special, baby. But what was I saying? I can't remember. But yeah, just the fact that I'm willing to try is like the best omen, and it inspires tremendous amounts of confidence, and it makes me excited for, I don't want to call them challenges. Like I said, I hate making goals. I just don't want to make it sound difficult, because it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to look difficult. If I'm able to view it from a different perspective of growth, of it, like it being good for me, not just challenging, not hard for the sake of hard, but hard for the sake of better, then I feel like the rest of my life really will have potential, I'm probably going to do more podcasts anyway. I should probably just wrap this one up, because I'm going to be here for, at the very least, like 2 weeks. At the very least. At most, till October. But one way or another, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's already done with. The choice is made, so now it's just time to make the move. But yeah, in future podcasts, I'll explain my options more in depth, because as of right now, I'm either going to move back to South Carolina, back into the same house, and work for Evergreen as a technician, or I'm going to move to Puerto Rico and finally do that. Do that, because I've talked about it and I feel like it's something that needs to happen in my lifetime, and I don't feel like I'm in touch with my culture at all, and I'm ashamed that I don't have good Spanish, and I call myself Puerto Rican, but fuck, I feel more black than anything, shit. And so I want to go find out about myself, about my people, about who I am. I want to be able to live in Puerto Rico and experience it, so that I can be a part of my culture, And going to Puerto Rico will happen inevitably. And that's why I'm thinking we should do South Carolina first for a while, because I will move to Puerto Rico. It's going to happen. It needs to happen. Absolutely needs to happen. That is another huge jump for myself that is absolutely crucial. It's It's the equivalent of checking skydiving off of my bucket list. You know, same type of shit. It's gotta be done. So, but there's more details, of course, to all of that kind of stuff, and I'll elaborate more in the future. The thing that I forgot that I just remembered. Let's check the percentage on this hoe, because I'm sure it's low. 8. Okay. Trying to even think where the hell a charger would be. Okay. What is this connected to? That is the lamp. This is... Oh, that's the camera. Whoops. It's okay, I'm home. I know I'm here. What I wanted to say, and what I started saying, was that I've told this to people before, but again, don't know who's watching. That's where I lost track. But if you've ever seen Holes, I love Holes. Holes is a great movie. Oh shit! Holes. Oh no shit! Boom! Holes. I forgot I had that. Anyway, Holes is a banger, and I have always... I feel like Holes is such a well-told story, because everything, there's questions and story plots and characters that all start in different places. You know, there's the shoes and Zero, and there's the curse on the Zeronis, and there's the camp itself, and like there's all these different things, all these different people, different scenarios that all get intertwined, and then by the end of the movie, it's as if everything, how do I even put it? It's like all ends get tied up perfectly. It's like the whole story comes perfect full circle, for not just the story, but for the characters' developments, for the story arc itself. Like, yeah, I just really like Holes. I like Holes. But the reason I bring it up is like, Akuma, get down, Baba. Thank you. When, I can't even remember the dude's name, when Hector's Zeroni's ancestor, wait, is this, no. Holy shit, it's Stanley's ancestor. Oh shit. Okay, that's right. So anyway, you guys know the old lady and the pig and the dude who wants to marry that white chick that's really stupid. She's like, carry the pig up and down the mountain every day and feed him, and soon he'll grow big, and then you get to keep the pig and go offer it as I don't know, as an offering to marry the dude's wife or the dude's daughter or whatever that he really likes. But she says, when you're done doing all of that, you need to come back and you need to take me and you need to carry me up the mountain the same way that you carried the pig. You need to sing to me while I drink from the top of the mountain, so that I can get strong too. And he was like, sure. Buddy, Akuma, I'm gonna close the door. Akuma, get out of the bathroom. Get out of the bathroom. I'm throwing it. Damn, that was close. Thank you, Baba. And in the end, the dude forgets. And that's the bitch too, is that bro forgot. Like, it's not like bro's like, fuck that old lady, I got the pig. Nah, he forgot, bro. Just straight up slipped his mind. And boom, you cursed for the rest of your motherfucking life. Not just you, but generations, ho. Like, damn. That's rough. Bro, talk about forgetting some shit. Like, you think it's bad when you leave the stove on, when you leave the house, bro. Imagine forgetting to follow through with the promise and you get cursed for all eternity, bro. All eternity. And you realize when you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean going to another country, like, oh, whee. But, full circle, again, reason why I love holes so much, because when Stanley and Zero run away from the camp and they make their way to God's thumb and they climb the mountain and Zero is unable to keep going, I think he passes out, probably from heat. They didn't have any water. Stanley picked his ass up and Stanley carried him up God's thumb. And when they got to the top, there was water and there were onions. And they partook. And that broke the curse on the Yalnatzes. And that's like always been my favorite part of the movie, because at least as a kid, they do it very subtly. It's not all in your face, like, oh, and see, he's doing the thing that his ancestor was supposed to do. No, it just happens. And then in the end, they find that fucking treasure in the ground and all that shit. But the fact that even generations later, the failed action got corrected. Is something that I think about all of the time, because with my podcast with After the Trip, which it's the same length. Again, ain't nobody watching this shit. But yeah, if you're still here, hello. It's nice. Thanks, I guess. Thanks. I actually appreciate that. And if you didn't catch up on the other 2.5 hour podcast, which I know absolutely nobody watched, I had a mushroom trip, and in that mushroom trip, I was able to finally accept the fact that I am bisexual, which is something that I have struggled with my entire life, because if it isn't obvious from this whole video, I have self-esteem issues and I'm very insecure, and I lack a lot of self-confidence, and I care a lot about what people think about me. And so it's been very hard for me my entire life to accept the fact that I like guys, and to not just that, which is, it's like one thing to acknowledge it, but then it's another thing to acknowledge that and still make it very clear to myself that I still love me, that I don't care, that, I'm sorry for judging you. And, I use this analogy a lot, especially during the trip and after, that, it felt like as a kid when I came to that realization and I didn't know what the hell to do about it. I just decided to abandon myself as a child, and I really stopped choosing to love myself because I didn't know if I deserved it. I didn't know if I was still worthy of love after being gay, and it really felt like I just left myself, which is exactly what I did. Like, I just abandoned me. And having that trip and coming to those realizations and taking certain actions to show to myself that I don't care, that I still love you, that you still matter to me, regardless of what we do or how we think or what we like. I don't care. you know, being able to show that to myself and accept that for myself really felt as if I was Stanley finally going back to correct his mistake and carrying Zero up the mountain so that he could get some water. Like, I came back for myself. I finally, came back to correct it, you know? And doing this, summer sales, these 3 months, has been the exact same thing. It's the same exact thing. I don't even know how much I've talked about this before or if I even have it all, but my parents sent me to military camp in my junior year, and I hated being there. I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. Like, I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't doing terrible things like everybody else. And I was just very sour about it because I was being forced to do something. And yeah, Greg and being forced to do anything, those two things are like oil and water. Like, you do not shove my head in anything. It will not end well. So I obviously opposed it very hard, especially while I was there. Like, I made it very clear, I don't want to fucking be here. I have no reason to be here. I don't want to follow these orders. I don't want to be fucking marching. I don't want to need to ask for permission to open my mouth. Like, what the fuck is this? Just take everything that Greg absolutely hates and put it into a package, and it was Idaho Youth Challenge Academy. That's what it was. It was devoid of uniqueness, of I've been trying to figure out how to say. How do you say if sincerity, but genuine, but sincerity? Genuinity is not a word, but there has to be a way to end genuine the same way you end sincere with sincerity. I've been thinking about this a lot. I don't know how the fuck you could say genuinely, but that's you. I mean, I guess you do things genuinely, but you don't. You have sincerity. How do you have whatever being genuine is? I guess you just are genuine. Whatever. Anyway, you weren't allowed to be that, and you weren't allowed to talk. And if you wanted to go to the bathroom, that meant that all 30 of you had to get up and march to the bathroom and stand in line while each one of us individually took turns going to the bathroom. It was just, it's for me, in my opinion, stuff like that is all for the sake of stripping your personality and your uniqueness and whoever you are in order to convert you into something that other people think would be good for you. Or at least that was my experience, because I'm sure a lot of the kids that went there decided that they wanted to be there for them. Like, I know a couple of them were like, I'm doing this for me, you know, I'm doing this because I want to end up being the person that they're gonna make me into, you know. But for me, somebody who didn't sign up for that shit and is like, there's no greater pet peeves than what was there for me. Like, it's just, you can't write a worse script. Anyway, I got kicked out after 2 weeks. Why? Because I told them I want to fucking leave. I'm not listening to what you say. I'm leaving, bitch. And there's a lot more to the story, and because I probably told it already, I'm gonna leave all that out. But long story short, I came back home, and I never thought about it again. But I knew that coming into this summer, that if I did choose to go do summer sales, this all became very vivid when I got there. These were all things I was thinking beforehand, but when I got there, I was like, fuck, like, for real, it's the same thing. It is It is the same thing but my way, to where the point is not to mold a perfect soldier that is 1 out of 100 that are all identical, but the point is to have the one person become as unique and like potently themselves as they can be. You want that person to blossom into something great, something that stands out, something that, it's the same shit as the military camp, except it is like the flip opposite in how they teach things. They don't force you to do this, they don't force you to do that. In the military camp, you were instructed to do things and you did them. Whereas in door-to-door sales, what you put into it is what you get out of it. There can be people there to motivate you and push you and tell you you can do it, like there were for me the entire way through. But if you're not taking the initiative to make this work or to blossom and become something unique and powerful and confident, if you're not putting in that work, it's not going to happen. Like the point in door-to-doors is to excel as opposed to conform. And that felt a lot more my pace, like let this be my choice, And the fact that I was willing to move out there on my own instead of having to do it because my hand was being forced or because I got coerced into doing it, gave me the power while I was out there to make the choices that I made. And it also ended up becoming my responsibility to accomplish, essentially, because nobody else was going to do it for me. Nobody was going to force me to knock doors. Nobody was going to stand next to me and tell me what I need to say and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was on me. It's on me, And I'd much rather do it that way than the way the military does it. But I didn't make it through military camp. And yeah, it's because I quit. Surprise, surprise, I quit on everything. We know. But it's because I didn't want to do it. Greg doesn't want to. And so when Greg doesn't want to, he just doesn't. And he quits. And I never really thought I'd care, I guess, about it. But seeing this door-to-door opportunity was really, really similar to military camp. And I'm going to say structurally speaking, but conceptually speaking, they had lots of parallels. I think military camp was supposed to be like 6 months, so that was long, but you're also going to school there, you're doing a bunch of shit, whereas here, it's like, it's 3 months. It's still long as fuck to be knocking doors, bro. Trust me. But it's a substantial amount of time, and you have to commit, and you have to be able to, like, drive yourself, push yourself to want to do good, not have, somebody kick the lights on at 5 a.m. and scream at you until you stand at attention so that you can do what they want you to. If I don't want to do it, it's not going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then it's on me and nobody else, But this too was very much me going back and correcting. Was it a mistake? I don't know if mistake is the proper word. But correcting shortcomings that affect me, because I hate the fact that I quit on everything. I hate it. And it's because everything, including this game that I'm playing right now, is all a choice on me. And so I need not do anything if I do not want to, because this is a choice. All of it's a choice. This existence is a choice. And so I don't need to do fucking shit. But when it comes to wanting things out of this experience, then it's important, it's imperative that we figure out how to be an adult, manage our time, put in proper effort. Like, it's on me. It's on me, you know? It's all on me. The whole thing is on me. But finishing with that, like being done, especially now, and I'm kind of procrastinating because I should be putting all this fucking shit away, but I'm scared to feel bad again. I feel like the second I start putting this shit away, I'm just gonna start getting vibes from my house that just feel icky and old and comfortable. It's not even that comfort's a bad thing, it's that discomfort, you know, is like, okay, we did this. We can't keep doing this. We squeezed this fucking orange till the pulp came out, and now it's just fucking grinds and it's disgusting and we don't like it, and so let's go find another orange. This orange was great, it was delicious, let's go find an even better one to squeeze, you know? And so it just feels weird being here with this old carcass. And I don't want you to feel like I don't appreciate you, because I fucking do, and I think you know that I do. But I think you, the entity, the vibe in this home, more than understands that for who I am, what I'm doing is absolutely necessary. So just know that I appreciate you and that I've loved every moment that I've had with you. I'm gonna fucking miss this place. I'm gonna miss this place a lot. It's like I'm closing the door on memories. It's really what it is. It's what it is. I feel like I'm breaking up with a girlfriend, bro. Oh God. It's like, so just in case shit goes bad over there, you think I can, like, you know, come back here and can work things out? No. Oh, you're gonna have a new boyfriend? Maybe a new girlfriend? Okay. It is what it is. That's life. It's not a sad thing. It is. But yeah, I feel like I gotta keep continuing with the trend of rescuing myself, abandoned parts of myself that I quit on and I gave up on, and showing myself that I care and I love myself enough to go correct those things that make me feel bad about myself. And I feel like that's what I did, doing this and accomplishing it and fucking finishing it. It's like, I finished military school. I fucking, like, I did it. Like, I did it. I corrected, curse broken, 0 to fucking water, bro. Like, I carried myself back up the fucking mountain so that I could prove to myself that I was worth it, and I could finally follow through on the things that I do. And so, you know, I've done that accepting myself and my sexuality earlier this year. I have done that by correcting the you know, military camp, and being able to stick to something that was difficult and was like, you know, a ringer. It really was. It was fucking, you know, a program. I fucking did a program and I actually tried, and I was able to finish it by myself, not with somebody lording over me or telling me that this needs to be done, you have to do this. Like, it was me that was doing that. It was me to myself that said, like, we gotta finish this. And I fucking did it. Like, good shit, bro. And so now we're gonna keep doing it. And I said all of that to say that I'm gonna move to Puerto Rico because I abandoned that a long time ago. I've abandoned the little 5-year-old Puerto Rican boy who only knew Spanish and only knew his culture, and like I have no recollection, I have no understanding, I have no connection whatsoever to who I was as a child when I was 5. And I guess most people don't because you're fucking 5, but like nothing. Like, I have no clue how I acted, who I was, the type of things that scared me. Like, I'm just so curious to see what would have been, had I been able to stay in Puerto Rico and grow there. And my mom thinks I probably would have got shot and I would have turned into a gangbanger. She's like pretty fucking certain of it. I don't know, but at the same time I can't say no because it didn't fucking happen, so I can't be like, nah, mom, you don't know, you tripping. It could be dead right now, who the fuck knows. But that is a huge, that's a huge one for me to carry myself back up the mountain and make good on that, so that way I feel like I know where I come from. I feel like I can say I know about my family, about who I am, about my ancestors, about my culture, about the people and how Puerto Ricans act and how Puerto Ricans talk, and the typical character that you have in people, and just all those things that I know nothing about. I'm like so alienated to where I come from and who I guess I could be, or who I have potential to be, or who I could have been. Like, honestly, thinking on it, it makes sense that I've felt so alone my whole life, because if especially with that, it's like I don't even have an identity. I don't have a culture to identify with, really. I really don't know who I am. I really don't know, who I was supposed to be growing up, essentially. And I feel like that's what caused so much self-doubt and lack of confidence. And because I was in an environment around a bunch of people that looked absolutely nothing like me, acted way different than me. Honestly, like, nobody really seemed to like me, like, it was just a lot, especially for a little kid. And so, anyway, I took a small step, which that mushroom trip was no motherfucking small step. Ask fucking Donnie or Jake, that shit was no small step. That was fucking real. But I did it. I was able to accomplish that, correct that, show myself love, and accept myself. Boom. Fixed. I went back and I fucking saved myself. And I just finished the door-to-door knocking. And it was hard, and like, I wish I could say that I did my best every single day, but I feel like maybe for me an expectation like that is unrealistic, like, I always feel like if I'm not doing the most, then I feel guilty. But it's like, when I do the most, I can't be consistent with it. I can push really hard for a certain amount of time, but then if you ask me to take my 100% effort that I gave today, and then tomorrow you're like, let's get the same exact thing. In fact, let's get 105%. Like, what are you even talking about? What are you talking about, bro? Like, that's not how it works with me, But when I could give it my all, I gave it my all. When, and I tried. And when it got so hard to the point where I stopped trying and I started giving up, and I stopped putting in effort, like, man, that last week was rough. I didn't sell anything. No, I sold one. And it's a lot of different reasons why. But it was also like you're towards the end, and I was just tired, and I was ready to like just. It's like, oh, I'm almost going home. What's the point, in killing myself over this, But even then, like I would still knock. Like my very last day, I was feeling guilty. It was a Saturday, and I was feeling guilty because I knocked 2 streets, and they were small streets, probably like total like 15, 20 doors, and I probably only had like 3 people open the door. But I don't know, I just felt defeated. I felt tired. I felt exhausted. There were fights. It was the London card, and I wanted to watch that shit. And I went to the liquor store and I got some alcohol. So, when we went back home and we started doing shit like going to the lake or whatever, I'd be stocked up. Like I did a bunch of shit that was not working. I did a bunch of shit like going to stores. I did a bunch of shit I shouldn't have been doing. And every time I do stuff like that, I always feel so guilty inside. I feel like so bad. Because I'm not doing what I feel like I can do or what I should be doing, But I still made it to the very end. And even on that last day, after knocking those couple streets, I sat for a long time, watched TV, and like I was ready. I was like, that's it. That's it for me. That's, I'm done. I'm cool. I know I'm not going to get a sale because I hadn't been getting any sales, and my pitch that last week just became ass because my confidence was just shot. And when that happens, whenever I'm not having success on the doors, I try to change things a lot to try and get different outcomes, and all that does is it serves to mess me up and jumble me, and it scatters me, and instead of being very tight and succinct with everything, I'm all over the place and very amateurish. And that's just what happened that last 2 weeks, is like just second guess myself, and I tried to become everything but, essentially. But even then, on that last day when I was like, fuck it, I'm done, I went to Popeyes. That's what I did. Went to Popeyes, and I was like, my phone was at like 20% or some shit, and I was like, yeah, that's close enough to almost dying. Let's just call it. We knocked some doors. I can say that I knocked some doors for the day. And I went and I got Popeyes. By the way, fucking slapped. It was so good. I haven't had Popeyes in a fat minute. 2 crispy thighs, a drumstick. One of those pieces was spicy. I had the biscuit with the honey. I had the seasoned fries. I had coleslaw. It was just delicious. Fucking good. But I was like, that's it. I'm done. And I don't know. That just felt like too much like quitting. And I'm like, bro, it's literally your last day. And the thing is that my plan was to like just watch the fights the rest of the day, but because they were in London, the card started at noon, and so the card itself ended, say like maybe an hour after, no, not even, like probably 30, 45 minutes, no, an hour after I got to Popeyes. And by the time that the card was over, my food was fucking gone. There's nothing to watch. My plan was to watch the fights the rest of the night, but it's over. And there was still like an hour. I don't even remember how. It could have been 45 minutes, could have been an hour and a half. I can't remember. There was still time. There was still time on the board. And I was perfectly content to just sit there. I was going to chill in the Popeyes and just charge my phone and watch TikTok and be in a nice air-conditioned place and whatever. But, I was just like, no, like even though I know I'm not going to sell anything, like even though I know it's not going to happen, like I got to finish knocking. I got to finish the day by knocking, just so that way I can say that like I was saying, like even with breaks, so long as you come back to it, so long as you don't quit and say, that's over, it's over with, throw your hands up in the air and then never touch it again. If you need to go get some fucking Popeyes and watch some fights in order for you to get back to it, then fucking do it, you know? And that's what I did, and I'm happy. It felt more like a moral victory than anything, because like I said, I didn't sell anything, and I was still very disappointed that I wasn't working rigorously for the last week. I was just disappointed in myself and my efforts. But like I said, it's like summer or senior, is it senior spring? No, what's it called when senioritis, like that, you know? But I was like, no, you gotta finish knocking. And I know it's like gonna hurt to knock doors, because I'm telling you, like, especially when you take big breaks or you don't knock consistently, because like if you start knocking at the beginning of the day, by the end of the day, like, you have so much motion that you've created that you're just going and you're just knocking. But if you like knock 5 doors, knock 10 doors, knock for an hour, and then you stop, and then you have to come back to it, it's like all the momentum you had is gone. The feelings of like, okay, we're getting in the swing, let's keep moving, it's like, it's gone. It's all gone. And even then, I was like, fuck it, bro. Let's just go knock on some doors and feel terrible. And I mean feel terrible because I'm knocking on, like, I'm telling you, it's just nerve-wracking, especially when you're not doing well and you're in a neighborhood where people are really short, or they're very rude, or obviously you're trying to sell them some shit, and so they like, people are hella standoffish, hella defensive from the jump. Like, it's impossible. And so, you know, if you go knocking, that's what you can expect in a lot of neighborhoods, is like that, back to back to back to back, all the way down the fucking street, all the way around the entire neighborhood, every single block. It's like the same shit. And so I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm like, there's a monster behind that door, bro. It's gonna fucking eat me, or rip an arm off, or fucking shred me emotionally, which is, whew. But I was like, fuck it, we gotta do it. We gotta do it because we've been doing it. And so even if this is you going through motions, I want you to go through the motions, to say that at the end, even if it wasn't with 100% effort, even if it wasn't to try and get a sale, you know, even if it was just to say that you did it, like, I don't care what it takes for you to get yourself up to go do it, but fucking do it. And then when we're done in an hour, you can rest forever, you know? Instead of sitting in this Popeyes doing fucking nothing for the last hour and a half because I'm scared to get my feelings hurt. It's like, bro, you came out here to get your feelings hurt. That was the whole reason you came out here, was to face failure, was to face rejection. And like, those things hurt as much as I thought they were going to. They really do. They really fucking do. But that was the purpose. That was the point, was to go out there and to grow. You know, I'm not going to end up with any money at all. I owe my mom $5K, and I get 25% of that $35,000 that I sold, minus what I got paid up front, minus rent for 3 months, minus $300 to get there for gas, minus $300 to get back home for gas, minus chargebacks. After all of that gets taken out, then whatever's left, because it's 25% of 35. How would I do that? No percentage. Quarters. 17.5 divided by 2, 16.8. So is that 9? No. 17.5. Sorry. Divided by 2. No. It's 8, right? No. 8 goes into 6. Yeah, so 8. God, this is hard. Wow, I'm not very good at this. Nope, that's divided by 2. I need pen and paper or some shit. Damn, I'm struggling. Hold on. Let's do some math. So look, 35,000. Not even divided by. Yeah, fuck it. Divided by 4, because that's what it is. 4 goes into 30. Bro, it's been so long since I've done math. What the hell? 4 times 8 is 40. 42 is 7. So, wow, this is embarrassing. Okay, 28 plus 4, 32. So 5. Jesus, where? There's no way that that's right. 35,000 divided in half, right? Comes out to 15,000 and 2,500, which comes out to 17,500, which divided by 2 equals 2 goes into 17, 2 goes into 16 8 times, so 8. What, carry the 1? Do you carry the 1? Wow. And then 15 divided by 2 is like 7. Okay, so sorry, like I said, retarded. So I think 8,700 or a number close to that is what I'm supposed to get in my back end before everything gets taken out. So like I said, 8,700 minus 2,400 for the rent, minus 600 for gas, minus a couple hundred whatever, a few hundred for my upfront, because they give you $40 for every sale you make, and I made 44. Okay, 0, 4, 16, 4, 16, 17. So it's like $1,760 that I probably got up front. And minus all that is what I get left. Sorry, this is probably not very interesting to watch, but it's interesting for me to do. So 2,400 and then 600, just call that 3K. So 4,760 is what's probably gonna get taken out. 4,760 minus 8,700 comes out to 60. It's like $4,060, and I owe my mother $5K, and I'm probably just going to give her all of that. So after 3 months of pushing myself and grinding hard as fuck, I am in debt. I didn't make a dime, essentially. However, I did grow. I developed lots of skills. I was able to push myself and break through my limits. It was extremely valuable in the exact ways that I was expecting it to be valuable, because I was expecting this pretty much. Expecting to somehow either get completely fucked out of all my money, or to not make any money whatsoever, or to make enough to not be able to do shit. But hey, I practically just went to school, and now I have all of this knowledge, and now I'm going to take that knowledge and apply it to other things, and hopefully I'll be able to make money off of those things because of the education that I got knocking doors. All right, now I think it's finally over, and now I'm 100% certain that nobody is watching this shit, because who the fuck got 3 hours? So I'm just finished. I love you. like I've said a million times, and if this is you watching this when you are a Jillian, or you're really, really old, or you're really cranky, or you're about to die, or hey, maybe you just want to look back. At whichever point I'm catching you, know that I love you, know that you deserve love, and know that you are worth existing, regardless of what the fuck is going on. And I really mean that, because we have been through fucking hell. Like, I want to die hell. And we made it through that, and now we're not just making it through things, but we're learning to grow from these things as opposed to survive them. Instead of letting the wave crush us to the point where we can't breathe and we're trying to keep our head above water, we're learning to surf that bitch and have fun doing it, and you know, not see challenges as imminent death, but as an opportunity to change, to grow, to develop, to calibrate, to evolve into something better. I love you. I am gonna go do all this shit. I'm finna smoke. Yo, it's been a fat minute. Yo, hold on. Before you go, in case in the future anything happens, because we've all had... Where the fuck? Right here. We've all had items in our lives that meant a lot to us, and then one day they disappear and you forget all about them, that they even existed. Although I highly doubt you will ever forget about this, but I just wanted to show it just in case. In whatever future you're currently existing in, you no longer have this, or something happened to it. Look at our baby. Aww. Sakya. I don't know where the bowl is, it's probably in there. But it's been without pulling. Days without smoking. Start February 7th, 27th. Oh, I can't ask my phone. But today's the 25th of July. February to March. March to April. April to June. June to July. Did I do that right? January, February, March. March, April. April, May. May, June. June, July. It's been 5 months since I've ripped my bong. Not smoked, but since I've ripped my bong. 5 months. What the fuck? So that'll be fun. I'm probably gonna fucking die, but that'll be cool. And just to give you context on what's happening in my life at this current moment, aside from the obvious thing I've been talking about for the last 3 hours, I'm gonna set the house up the way it was before, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to enjoy it and not try to hate it, but I'm going to try to allow myself to relax and really soak it in for one last little bit before it's gone. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. And you know, it doesn't mean that you have to go fucking ham and do nothing and just watch TV. Like, you could still be productive the way that you're being now, and we could just incorporate it into things that we like to do, like watch TV. But anyway, I'm gonna set up the house. Eric is flying in tomorrow, because this weekend is UFC 290 motherfucking one. I don't know if it's 291 or 293. I think it's 293. Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje are having a rematch for the baddest motherfucker belt. Yeah, nasty. Alex Pereira is gonna fight Jan Blachowicz. Ooh. and hella other names. Michael Chiesa's fighting Kevin Holland. Paulo Costa was supposed to fight a new Russian dude, but Paulo pulled out. He's gonna fight Chimaev now in October, which I'll take it. I would have rather have seen him myself personally, but I will take it. Who else? Derek Lewis, Rogerio de Lima. It's like 2-3 other bangers that I can't even remember. But we bought tickets, baby. Yeah, UFC Salt Lake City this motherfucking Saturday. So I'm gonna set this house up. I'm gonna get shit squared away. When Eric shows up, I'm going to do my best to just enjoy being with my friends. Sierra's gonna drive up from St. George on Friday. Eli, Bree, Jordy, Eric, Sierra, and me are the ones who have tickets for the fights. So yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy my time. I'm gonna break the news to them too, which is, it is what it is. They're still gonna love me, so just gotta do it. And yeah, and I'm gonna enjoy my shit, and then I'm gonna figure out when the fuck I'm gonna move out of here. Not if, but most definitely when the fuck I'm gonna move out of here. So this was good. This was clearly overdue. Fucking clearly. It's like 3 episodes, bro. That's insane. Guess what? I love you. Alright, I'll talk to you later. I love you. I love you. You matter. You're important. You're valuable. Keep striving. Keep pushing hard. Make your dreams come true.